Hello, and welcome to another video. Today, as you can see, we're playing Super Mario World. We're talking about a very interesting topic, I think, which is... Well, the title of the video is Why I Stopped Streaming, but really it's something a bit more broad than that. Like, I'm not just gonna say why I personally stopped streaming, but it's general impressions on streaming as a whole and everything. And so, well, the first thing that you may ask, which is very fair, is, okay, why you stopped streaming? Did you ever stream? Like, perhaps you are. I wouldn't call a newer viewer because I don't think that any of my previous viewers really are in tune with what I'm doing these days, so it's fair. But back in, I think 2010, 11, 12, thereabouts, I used to stream on Twitch, like, quite a lot. I was mostly inspired by AGDQ. I was very interested in speedrunning at that time. And so I figured, hey, maybe I should, like, select my favorite game and just stream it, and I'll have a lot of fun with that. And indeed, it was a very fun time doing it. And I think I wasn't, like, big on streaming or anything, you know. So I think I maxed out at around like 30 to 50 viewers depending on the day, which is not a lot, but it's not nothing either, right? And so this is specifically for Mega Man X. Like, this was X and X2 mostly. Those are the two games I did the best while streaming. And then I started streaming other stuff in terms of speedrunning content as well. I streamed a bit of Pokemon Red speedruns, and that had good viewership as well. And let's see what else I had. Some minor success streaming Super Mario 64 with 16 star. And by the time I was like switching games and moving to other stuff, then yeah, like the viewership was not there. And very much so, you'll see several people that are focused on a single game. They'll talk that, hey, the stream kind of makes you hostage of that game, you know. So let's say you get known for being, I don't know, a Counter-Strike streamer, or a Valorant streamer, or a Fortnite streamer, or in my case, a Mega Man X streamer. If you switch games, then people won't be there for the most part. It's not because they don't like you personally or anything, it's not like that at all, it's just that it is hard to have this independence of like, oh, I can play whatever the hell I want and people show up and watch, because ultimately, in that case, people will be showing up for your personality, right? And then you have to be a very entertaining person, which is not easy for most people, myself included. And so really, it became the situation where if I was playing Mega Man, I had good viewership, and if I switched games, I do recall playing a lot of Super Metroid back in the day as well, then the viewership wouldn't be there, and you can get a bit anxious about that, you know, because you think, wow, yesterday I had like 35, 40 viewers and everybody's popping off in chat. It was super fun. Wow, today I have like 10 viewers, 5 viewers, and like, is it worth it? And I think that is a really bad place to be mentally, you know, to think about your stream in that sense. I mean, if your stream is your way of life, in that, I mean, the money you make from your stream is what pays your bills at the end of the day, then I guess you don't have much choice then, right? So if people show up to watch you play like Dota or League of Legends, I mean, that kind of sucks, but you're gonna have to play that every day, to the point that you may even start disliking the game or some such, you know. But that is the conundrum, I think, that people, when they think about, oh, I really would like to be a streamer, I think it would be really fun to just like play games and be paid to do that. And that in its face may be true, but really ignores like a lot of the realities of the situation, which is what I'm mentioning here, you know, that it's like J. Allen Brack once said, you think you do, but you don't, and it very much is the case. Like, conceptually, the idea of being paid to play video games online as a streamer is really tempting. But when you go to the day-to-day of it, it gets like really hard. What did I do there, man? I was trying to avoid jumping to not hit the turtle, and then I kinda ended up not doing either thing. Okay. What? Okay, I'm gonna have to heavily dispute that hit there. That was not correct. No matter. And so that is one thing that moved me off of streaming in the first place, like back in the day, if you will, when I wasn't really, if I'm honest with you, I wasn't really thinking, oh, I'm gonna become this professional streamer and make money off of streaming. Fortunately, I always had like a good paying career, a good paying job, and so I didn't have to really rely on. There we go. Rely on that to be like my primary moneymaker. I made some amount of money from Twitch, like, you know. There weren't as many ads back in the day, and I'll talk about that in a bit. So really, you made most of your money from subscriptions and that kind of stuff, and so it was okay. I could buy like a couple games on Steam, I suppose, but it wasn't anything that would be like really viable to like pay rent, or as I ended up doing, get married and have kids and all that kind of stuff. So really not a sustainable career. And I had other friends that also streamed back in the day, and at least one of them I am aware that still does, and man, that is a situation, you know, like this friend in particular, I'm not gonna cite names just in case. I don't want to call out anyone or anything, but this person in particular is also from the Mega Man community and still is, for the most part, playing Mega Man on a daily basis. And man, I think that's kind of rough, you know, if you ask me. It's like, goddamn it, man, the guy is day in, day out playing Mega Man and doing like several games, speedruns, you know, like Mega Man X 1 to 8, or the classic Mega Mans, or that kind of stuff. And man, it's been, what, 13 years by now? I think 12 years, 13 years. I mean, I like Mega Man, don't get me wrong, but I don't like Mega Man for 13 years that much, you know. Before you ask, I'm not gonna do the fast route here to beat the game, because, I mean, I'll need more time to talk, so I will do the longer route here. And if we don't beat the game, that's fine too, that's okay. And yeah, like, so as I mentioned, if I still was, to this day, having an audience, which is fine, but having to play Mega Man X specifically, or any game really that I speedran back in the day, as a means to make money, and that was it, I don't think I'd be as happy, you know? Like, I think it would have been... I would have become bored of the game by now. I think it's very fair to say that would be the case. And yeah, like... So if you are younger and for some reason watching this video got recommended it somehow, I don't know, man, really think about what you want to do there. If you think, oh, it would be super fun if I was a streamer and I don't know, let's say you like playing Valorant. So if I got paid to play Valorant, that would be great. I don't know, man. On its face, it may seem like that to be the case, but take it from someone that actually lived the other side of the coin, even for a little bit. So it was only a couple months, I'd say like 3 to 6 months. It wasn't like a lot, but still, it was some amount of time. Right, so this was the reason that I stopped streaming back then, but this was not the only time I streamed. In fact, I came back to streaming, I think, in 2019, 2020, on COVID and all that. And I played a lot of randomizers. You'll find at this channel that most of my earlier videos were centered around randomizers. More specifically, the Ocarina of Time randomizer, but also A Link to the Past and Super Metroid and Majora's Mask and whatnot. There's others as well in there. And on that stretch of streaming, my streaming career, if you will, it was a different thing. So at this point in time, I selected a game that I knew for a fact didn't have the market potential, if you will, of like a popular speedrunning game. So in a microcosm, Mega Man X, but more widely like Pokemon or Mario 64. Like there is a reason I chose those games. First, I like the games, that's important, but also the more popular a game is, the more viewership you can get, of course, right? So the reason I chose those games specifically back in the day, back in 2013 and whatnot, was that I knew that I could get more eyes on my content and all that. And on the second stretch, where I played the randomizers, that wasn't my goal anymore. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just stream for fun. I'm gonna stream because I like the competitive aspect of the randomizers, and so I was doing tutorials, I was doing videos here for YouTube that were teaching some aspects of the game, and I had a group of friends that would play the game very religiously, pretty much every day during COVID. And yeah, it was a fun time to be sure. And so I streamed mostly for competitive reasons at this time. Like I had to stream because I was in a match, or I had to stream because someone wanted to learn about what I was doing in the game. But the viewership numbers would always be like pretty low comparatively, like 5, 10, max 15 viewers, if you will. And so I wasn't under any delusion at that point that I'm like, oh, I can make a career out of this or anything. So that was never viable. In fact, in my estimation, the randomizer community as a whole is not really viable from an economical standpoint, you know. So you can say, oh, I'm going to build like something akin to what speedrunning is, right, with GDQ and everything. Let's do that for randomizers. I think that kind of works because it is more of a niche thing. And so first you have the retro niche, which is people that are interested in retro games. That is a small amount of people. And then you have the second niche, which is people that are interested enough to watch that game frequently because you have tournaments and everything, right? And so the game is being played very frequently at that point. And finally, you have the niche of the randomizer itself, because there are several people that don't gel with the randomizer. They may like, for example, they like Super Mario World, which has a randomizer, but they don't like this game being played as a randomizer. So every time you select a stage, you get teleported to some other stage. Same thing for Zelda. So you like Zelda for the story, or like Zelda for the nostalgia, but if you had to watch a randomizer, you'd be like, what the hell is going on here, you know? Like, guy opens a chest, a new item shows up, and then there's all this routing that you guys are talking about. So it's a very different thing, you know, to like a randomizer. And so when you put all those niches together, by definition, your potential user base or viewership base will be very small. There's no two ways around it. So yeah, so the second stretch I was streaming for other reasons, and still I stopped streaming. But this was kind of different in the sense that I wasn't anymore like streaming for the viewers. I didn't really care that much about how many viewers I would get per stream, because as I mentioned from the get-go, I knew that the viewership would be not ideal due to the limited appeal of the game itself. And so that was fine. But still, being on a stream has certain requirements that are kind of... I mean, if you want to be I wouldn't say a successful streamer, but like to actually be a streamer, you know, because if you just like boot up the stream, which I have done several times, by the way, if you just boot up the stream and you... Let me not use Yoshi on this stage, because I don't want to... Not the biggest fan of the stage, to be honest. Just gonna fly through it. if you just want to boot up your stream, which I have done several times, and then you just like play your game, don't talk to anyone in chat, regardless if they show up or not, and then you just like cut stream at the end of the day, I mean, that's fine. You can do that. That's no problem. However, that's clearly not being a streamer, right? You're not really a streamer. You're just making a VOD. You're making some sort of video content that will be able to be referenced later by yourself or by someone else. It's a recording of your gameplay, but it's not a stream. So you don't have the chat interaction, which is very important, right? Well, it characterizes a stream ultimately. And so I wanted to get that jump correct. We won't be flying over all stages, no, don't you worry. It's okay. We'll fly over some stages. I didn't... yeah, I shouldn't have. This is not looking good. I have a... I don't know, maybe not. I recall there being a random power-up box here somewhere, but apparently not. Okay, there we go. At least I can get the bonus points here. Cool. Now, if you want to actually have a stream going, then you have chat, right? And there's two aspects in chat that are important. First, there's the aspect that you want to interact with chat if they are around, right? So if someone talks to you in chat, you actually want to respond to them. It would be good so that your stream actually resembles the stream. So that is one thing. I'm actually going pretty fast here, man. This is pretty cool. Alright. And secondly, there's the fact that if nobody shows up to your stream, that may or may not affect you in some way, depending on your outlook of the situation, right? So if you are doing the stream just for yourself and to have fun, maybe it won't affect you at all, and that's great. Now, some people are not like that. I will tell you firsthand, I'm not like that at all. And so, if I am streaming and I see the viewer count at like 1, just myself, or I see the viewer count at like 0 even, or 2 or 3, but nobody's talking in chat, it kind of bothers me a little bit, you know? Kind of like, because, sure, you can just sit down there and play the game, that's fine. But then, if you just want to sit down there and play the game, why would you be streaming in the first place, you know? Because you could just as well be playing the game on your own. Kind of like I'm doing right now, but this is different because I'm talking to you guys. But let's imagine I just booted up Super Mario World here and I was playing by myself. That's fine. That's great. Good game. I can have fun. But I didn't need to boot up the stream, be recording, and be on the expectation that people would show up and chat when they never do in this particular scenario, right? And then... yeah, like, why even be streaming then, if you don't have viewers? And then there's the second situation, which is like, let's assume you have viewers, however many that may be, like a few, 10, 15, 100, I don't know. Well, then at that point you have a second challenge, which is when you start the stream, you actually are there to entertain full-time. That is kind of the expectation that is put upon you as a streamer. And... I mean, it's not a question of being, I kind of want the cape here, of it being like, how do I say this, of this being like fair or not. It's not like that at all, but it's a question of this being, I kind of, yeah. Do I want this? I want this for the... Okay, no matter. I'll do this later. Or not. Actually, no, I want to go through the lower part, that's okay. So you're there as a streamer to entertain people, right? That is the the understanding that people that showed up to your stream, they expect you to interact with them via chats and to be, or at least try to be entertaining for the most part. So if you just like sit there and play your game and don't talk to anyone, you can do that, of course, but it's not going to be the greatest stream, you know. It's not like people are going to complain. That may happen, but it is infrequent. Now, what might happen is that people stop watching. So you have people that show up and then they start watching a stream. They're like, yeah, all right, let's give this guy a chance. And then they see that you're just like there playing the game, and that's fine. They'll just find something else to watch, which is okay. But obviously that's not what you want, right? If you start the stream, you have some sort of objective in there. So let's assume that you have the more reasonable objective, which is like, all right, I would like people to watch me, and as they watch me, I would like them to be entertained, and as they are entertained, I'd like to grow my viewer base, if you will. Okay, so that is your objective then, as a streamer in this case. Well, then you're gonna have to interact with everyone and try and be entertaining. And that can be a lot of burden, man. That can be a lot of burden because it depends on the type of person that you are. It depends on the kind of day that you're having. So you may say, oh, that's fine. If people talk to me in chat, I'll just respond them. And for most days, that may be the case. But what inevitably ends up happening is that you're going to have new viewers that show up and ask questions that you have answered countless times already. So in my case, in randomizers, it would be like people showing up and asking, hey, why are you doing this? Why are you getting this item? Why are you not doing that? And then you answer that one time, and then you answer that the second time. And then by the time you're answering the same question for the 10th time, you're like, I know, I'm going to put a comment in chat where people can like type exclamation mark, whatever the hell, and then that will answer their question. And that doesn't actually solve the problem because people want the interaction. They don't want to interact with your command. They're asking the question because they want to be acknowledged by you, the streamer, that they're there. And that, you know, there's this whole parasocial situation, which I'm not really gonna get into here. It's not the main goal of this video to investigate that, but it's not even an investigation, it's just me talking to the camera. But yeah, generally, people will ask these questions, maybe because they actually have the doubt, but also because they want to interact with you, the streamer. And so that may get grating for you after a while, or may not. Maybe you are a very patient teacher and you don't mind the same thing being asked to you several times, and you'll be happy to answer. I kind of doubt it after a month or so, but we'll see. And so that's the one aspect that there is to that. And then, secondly, there may be days that you're not in your best mood, you know? Like you're kind of, man, I don't want to talk to anyone today, or I want to talk, but only about specific subjects that I'm interested in. And then people show up and they may start asking or talking about stuff that you're not really too interested in talking about in that particular day. But hey, you are there to entertain, remember? And so you can't just like ignore what people are saying and just go about and play your game. I mean, you can, but it's gonna hurt your viewership. Not only in that particular day, but also the general perception. So if you have a lurker, a new viewer that just showed up, and then they're just like sitting there and watching the stream, not doing much, and then they see that you don't interact with chat, or that you have negative interactions with chat, like you're not being as patient or as lenient as you usually are, because in that particular day you are you're impatient or whatever, then it may rub them off the wrong way. They'll be like, Jesus Christ, man, this guy sucks. Like, why the hell is this guy streaming if he doesn't even have the patience to acknowledge his viewers? Then where the hell am I? What is going on here? Is this a... Huh. Okay, no. I confused this with another ghost house. Okay, fair enough. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Do you recall? Oh, this is the... Oh, I hate this ghost house. Super obnoxious, these green bubbles. And so bottom line, even if you're on a not so good day, you're gonna have to try and be entertaining and be as courteous as you can to your viewers the whole time, because this is gonna impact the general quality of your stream. And that can be hard, man. That can be hard. Everybody has their off days. Like this is okay, right? Everybody has their off days. And now let's imagine that you are streaming for a living, which I would say even fortunately I never got to that point. And then you are having an off day. Well, nobody cares, man. You're gonna have to just turn on the camera, play the game, possibly the same game that you have been playing for a while there, because that's what people tune to watch you play. And so, I mean, there you have it. You're gonna have to just sit there and perhaps answer the same questions and interact with people the best way you can, because that is what you sign up to do, you know. Let's see what else. As per usual, I have some nodes in here. But yeah, there's also the spontaneity and preparation. That is another thing. So maybe this is the first video we're watching here, or it is another of one of the several videos that I've put out here in the past few weeks. It's sort of like, I thought that was gonna be a mushroom, but alas. I started thinking, hey, this seems really easy, like what you're doing here right now. Like you're just playing Super Mario World and talking about a specific subject. And so why don't you do that in a stream format? And you'd be right. It's not too different from doing what I'm doing right now and doing this in the stream format. This, in essence, is as much, is not too dissimilar to a stream, you know, because this is not edited video. And so this could very well be a stream, is what I'm saying. Now, the reason that it is hard, the reason I stopped being streaming and I stopped streaming, why I think that doing this specifically that I'm doing here, which may seem very straightforward, is not as straightforward as it might seem, is that when you are doing a recorded video as I'm doing right now, to be honest with you, it's pretty simple, because I think about a subject that I want to talk about, and I have a kind of a notepad with several annotations of themes that I'd like to talk about, and then I basically write ahead of time some topics in case I get lost, which does happen frequently here. I get lost in what I'm talking about, and then I want to recover my train of thought. And then like, ooh, I almost fell there. All right. Okay. All right. This stage is a bit stressful, which is why I'm not being as fluent as usual. Okay, so I can also write down on my notes, which I have here, like several subjects that I can go through, topics, if you will. And once I'm done, this is the crucial part. Once I'm done with the subject, I just end the video, you know? So right now I still have like a couple things to talk about, so the video is still going. But pretty soon, I'll be done with the notes here. In like 20 minutes, half an hour, I don't know, give or take. And then I'll just stop the video, and then that's it. And so you're free to move to another video, and I'm free to move to another topic as well in the future. And what is the difference between that and a stream? This is because this is very focused. And so you get some rambling here, because of course this is unedited, and so I am not as fluent as I may be if I was really cutting out the times that I'm thinking about something or I'm focusing on the game. But still, it's if you think about the ratio of filler content and actual content you get in the video, it's like, I would say 70%, right? And if you go to other types of videos where people... Fuck, I can't keep the magic Koopa. Okay. Let's see if I can do the thing. Let's try and do the thing. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, we're good. Nice. This is a nice shortcut we can get in this castle. And so yeah, the ratio of like yeah, man. I jumped too early. There you go. It's pretty good. Now, if you go to more edited videos, like if you go to I don't know, a Games Hack video or a MrBeast video or whatever the channel you may like, where the video is fully edited, then you basically get 100% of ratio of filler and content. So every single second that you're watching the video, it is useful content. Useful in whatever way it may be, right? Either it's teaching you something or it's entertaining you or yada yada yada. And now a stream is basically the antithesis of all that. A stream is, I don't know, 20% useful content? Depends on the streamer, of course, and I think this is why people like watching people that react to stuff so much. For example, Asmongold is a very popular streamer because they basically gain all the usefulness of the ratio, you know, of the content from what they're watching. So if you watch a React streamer, then it becomes a much higher percentage because they are watching something that has a high ratio in itself, and then they're just reacting to it. And so their reaction is useful content, and what they're watching is useful content, and so you get a very high ratio. But if you get someone that's just like doing gameplays or whatever, the ratio is really bad. Like, you know, if you watch even the streamer that I like very much, like for example, I like Dr. Disrespect a lot, and I used to watch his streams a whole lot more, and I'll talk about why I don't watch streams that much anymore. But even a very, very entertaining stream like Dr. Disrespect, for example, has trouble making his stream like in a good ratio. So having a good ratio of filler and content, you know? Like you get the sections where he's there with an animation, going down the road with a car or something like that. And then there's the arena and him talking to the audience. But when he gets into a game, especially Battle Royale games, there's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of like, oh, I'm just looting or I'm just moving to some place. And there's the build, the build up, of course. But you notice that there's a lot of stuff that's really not a whole lot happening. And I can tell you that, I can tell you the same for the streams that I used to do. So for example, when I streamed Mega Man X, I would say like 50% of the stream was me doing the intro stage and like the first stage or something. And then I'd make a mistake, and what would I have to do? I would reset the game so I could get a good run going. And then I would try again and reset the game until I actually had something good going, some viable run going on. Is this okay? I have to focus a little bit here because if I hit the sauce, then we're gonna, you know, I kind of want to get the stage here. If you hit the buzzsaws, then you stop flying. There we go. And so that would be really bad because I would die, right? And when I stream randomizers, the same thing, you know, like it's very interesting at the beginning of the seed because there's a lot happening and you're finding items and you're finding your route. But once you get to the execution phase of the game and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna go to this dungeon here and do the dungeon, and then I'm gonna do something else. And you're basically just going through the motions at that point, you know. And even the viewers, the long-time viewers that I'm watching for the upteenth time, they know exactly what's gonna happen. So it's a good opportunity for people to talk with you and for you to answer comments and all that. But again, it is filler, you know. It depends on the comments. It depends on the quality of the conversation that's going at a given point in time. And so it may be good content or it may not be good content. Now, coming back to videos, if you can prepare a subject for a video and you can really hone in on some subject that you want to talk about and then have that condensed into a 10-minute, 20-minute window, you record the video and then someone watches it, well, that's 100% of useful content time for anyone who's watching. So it's a lot easier for you to not even convinced, because it's not a convincing matter, but like for a viewer to be more, have a higher tendency to stay on the, let's just keep going. I'll get a power up later, hopefully. Okay. Whoa. All right. Let's see what else I have got here. Yeah, this is another thing that I've written down, which I kind of talked about, but like the quality of your content, in a way, kind of depends on your audience. So if they're making good comments and they're starting subjects that you can talk about with them and really be entertaining in that sense, and that's great. But if that's not the case, then it kind of sucks, you know, because you're sitting there talking with your audience about stuff that may not be that interesting, and people will be like, you know, will I stick around the stream? And then you really depend on the commenters to make your stream entertaining or not, which can be hard, right? All right, let's move to a different subject now, which is time commitment. And so this is another thing, and this is mostly a reason whereby I stopped playing randomizers, and it goes hand in hand with the streaming thing, which is, man, if you are down to, right, I'm gonna be the streamer and I'm gonna stream for a living, you gotta prepare yourself to stream long hours. It's not like there was this funny subject or a very silly subject that people are talking about, oh, it's actually harder to be a streamer than work 9 to 5 someplace. And that's silly, right? That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying, though, is that for you to sit down on a chair for 8 hours and play a game, possibly the same game every day, and be entertaining and be talking the whole time, dude, that's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard to be entertaining, you know? It is. It's not the easiest thing. This is Yoshi, yeah. Do I want to do the P-Balloon here? I think not. I think I just get the regular exit here. The lag. Oh no! Okay. It's been real Yoshi, but... Oh, that's too high, isn't it? So yeah, Jesus, that was a 50. Alright. Cool. So if you want to be a streamer, man, you're gonna have to sit down and be talking a lot for a long time, and that can be difficult, and especially in an entertaining way. And this streaming is kind of like sports in a sense. What do I mean by that? It is similar in the sense that I think I want the flower here actually. It's gonna be easier to drop some fishes here with the flower, hopefully. So yeah, if you if you want to be entertaining for that whole period of time, that's not gonna be an easy thing. So do take that into consideration, and I say that with a first person experience on the matter. Let's see what else I got here. Right. Okay, now I'm gonna go for a very perhaps controversial part of my argument, but it is what it is, right? I think that streaming essentially is a young person's game, not only in execution, but also in audience. So what do I mean by this? What I mean is that I think that streaming is essentially something that is only viable if you're younger, and is only for younger audiences as well. So as I get older and I have like more commitments and I have like a job and I have the kids and I have wife and everything, I see that it is harder and harder for me to justify like just sitting down and watching a stream for like half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours without the quote-unquote guarantee that I'll have anything interesting or anything worthwhile to keep me glued to the screen at that point in time. It just makes a lot more sense for me to just, all right, I have this 30-minute time box where I don't have to do anything. I can just like sit down and watch things. Well then, I think that the most worthwhile usage of that time is just watching YouTube, you know? Because I can watch 1, 2, 3 videos in that time period. Those will be highly edited. They'll have a very high ratio of content to filler ratio. And so, yeah, like that is really good usage of my time in terms of entertainment, you know? Whereas if I... Fuck, man. Okay. There's a specific... Is this one? Oh my god, this is gonna suck. Okay, that's good. It's not this one. There is a specific green pipe that I want here to get a secret exit, and I don't quite recall where it is. It's probably the next one. Looking like it. Okay, this is not ideal. I think it's this one. Okay, it is. Cool. And you also have to be Big Mario here, which is why I was being so careful not being hit. Otherwise, it'll all go away. And so, yeah, as I was saying, it is essentially a young person's game because as you get older, you have to select better the way you use your free time, right? And so I find it harder and harder for me to watch streams these days. Not only because it is very easy for you to get into a stream and then there is nothing really happening. You're just waiting around, the streamer's playing a game, or maybe you're waiting for something interesting to happen. If it's a competitive game, maybe it's a little better. If it's a side-by-side, like it happens a lot in speedrunning races, then it's a little bit better because you have the comparison to be like a source of entertainment the whole time. But otherwise, yeah, like it is hard to justify, I wouldn't say wasting time, but investing my time into that kind of entertainment where I could just like watch a video and have a much more condensed form of entertainment going on at that point in time. Is this the one that goes down? I don't think it is. I think it's later. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Okay, come on. Okay, we made it. We made it. Cool. Jesus Christ, that was close. There we go. Nice. Now, when I was younger, I watched a lot more streaming as a whole, and also I streamed, as you guys have learned just now. And so I think that if you are younger, you have more free time generally, and so it is okay if you're just like watching something. There's nothing really happening. You're just in there like talking in chat. Maybe you're interacting with other chatters, or you're interacting with the streamer if it's a small enough stream. And I mean that's a fine usage of your time, but as you get less and less free time, it gets a bit hard to justify if you have like as I mentioned, half an hour, 1 hour, for you to just get into stream and hope that something interesting will happen in that point at that point in time. And this is why I see more and more streamers having their YouTube channels. You know, they have the stream highlights on the YouTube channel. Several that we can cite as examples here, like for example, Asmongold that I mentioned, Point Crow, another one that I watch a lot. There's, I think, Pokemon Challenges, right? And I mean, there's several streamers that I could cite here that have the strategy of streaming and then extracting some excerpts from their stream to become YouTube videos and promoting that way. And to be honest with you, like these days, I only watch the YouTube highlights, because why would I watch the stream? They're basically condensing like a 4 or 5 hour stream into a very jam-packed, entertaining tidbit there for me to watch, right? And so it is a much more convenient method of content consumption for me and for everyone, really. Damn, I thought I was gonna be able to fly there, but alas. Oh, it's this guy, Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, another cape. I'll take that. Okay, fortunately I got the second cape, so we'll get that now. I kinda need the cape for the second part of this ghost house here, which is why I am working very hard to keep it. Which is this one right here. So we just want to see what this ghost is going to do, because otherwise you have to basically make that pair of like stone ghosts solidify on the correct spot so you can jump and all that. But if you have the cape, you just fly and then there you go. You're done. So pretty cool. Now, this more controversial topic is something that I would be very interested to see if this really reflects in your experience. So if you, when you were younger, did you find yourself watching more streams? And as you're now older, you watch less streams? Or does that not hold up at all? And am I just, like, speaking out of my ass here? Hopefully not. But we'll see. Okay, let's wait for the turtle. Come on. Hopefully that was fast enough. I think it was. It was, okay. Cool. So yeah, generally, I mean, it's clear that if you like streaming, then that's no problem at all, right? I mean, you're free to like streaming, of course. And it's a very middling opinion for me to say, oh, just be happy with what you like. But it's true. Like, if you enjoy watching streams, that's nothing wrong with that at all. It's fine. I mean, these footballs are just so hard to predict their movement. What? Come on. But really, yeah. So to get back to the theme of this video, which is why I stopped streaming. It is really more than that. It's not only why I stopped streaming, but really why I stopped watching streams. So it is both. You know? That is the general gist of what I'm going for here. And if you want to become a streamer, I think you have to be very cognizant of a lot of things I mentioned in here. Maybe you thought of them before, maybe you haven't. Maybe you think it's just gonna be fun and games, and well, maybe you should consider all the implications of becoming a streamer. I think that's the general gist of it. Oh, damn it. Well, Okay, let's go fast. Let's go fast. Come on up. Go. Come on, guys. And Mario World is such a good game in it. It really is. It's a very chill game. There we go. Huh. I don't know. As I move forward, as I mentioned, I think in my first video of this Ramblings series, I'm not big on editing video. I find editing video it's very time consuming. I think that is the first thing I'll say. It's very time consuming, and it is very I don't know, very not my thing. I think that's what I'll say. It is not my thing. If I can just like sit down here and talk, and it becomes, I understand there's a trade-off what I'm doing right now. It's not like I can just completely, oh Jesus Christ, I didn't know these guys were coming. Oh my god. Okay, all right. I didn't get the blue switch palace. That kind of sucks. Okay. All right. So I understand there is a trade-off between being like not editing the videos and them not being as entertaining as they could be. And I mean, I accept that trade-off, you know, it is what it is. Actually, going through the trouble of scripting the video and editing the video, it would certainly make this content better. I don't. This is not a good idea. I don't disagree with that, but it is a lot of work, right? And so this is kind of a streaming format to the videos where it is still easy enough for me to make at a decent enough pace and hopefully be entertaining. And I mean, ultimately the reason I'm doing these videos is mostly kind of a personal diary, if you will. It's not exactly a personal diary, but it is something akin to that, which is like, I'd like to have this backlog in the future to go back and, oh, this is what I thought back in the day, and this is what the games I played, and all that. And so it is always entertaining to go back and watch yourself in video format if you can, especially very far removed from the time you recorded it. So these days I can go back to my 10-year-old videos and see what I looked like back then, and also what I thought back then, and see how you evolve. And also, as you have kids, I would imagine, I would like to have this video backlog of my father to watch. Unfortunately, it was a different time, so there isn't that, but hopefully in the future it will be available for my kids to watch, and my grandkids possibly to watch and figure out how it was back then, right? So there's all that. And yeah, I think as we get here to the Sunken Ghost ship, let me see here. Yeah, really, I am done with the subjects I have going on here. So yeah, bottom line, be careful with what you wish for if you want to be a streamer. There's a lot more that is not as fun as you may think initially, but hey, there's the good parts also, right? These days, it's only YouTube for me and only recordings, which is not to say I'm not ever gonna stream again, not at all, but I don't know, just boot up the stream and make it like a VOD, you know. And if someone interacts in chat, that's fine, but I won't say much. That's probably the case. Who knows, maybe I will change my mind as well. Maybe you guys have some comments that will swing my opinion in a different way. That said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.